You're on our Disruptor segment. Jason Alexander Roberge, running for Congress, Republican, District 7. Hey, Jace, welcome.
Hey, John. How you doing this morning?
Okay, so, Jason, here's the deal. District 7 is I think it's an R+3. Dave Bratt lost it in 2018 in the midterms by 6,000 votes. Dave, good friend of mine. We backed him over Eric Cantor back in the day, but ran kind of a lousy campaign, didn't raise enough money, and didn't get out enough, etc. Anyway, he lost. He's with Liberty University. So now Abigail Spanberger's in there. I think she's one of the toughest Democratic candidates to win a Trump seat you're going to find. I've had her on my show many times. Nick Freitas is the favorite if he gets in. We've also got a candidate, Tina Ramirez. Whoever the nominee is will get resources, money. The president likely to come to the district at least once, maybe 2 times. You never know. Why is Jason Roberge the best candidate?
Sure. Well, so the candidates that are running right now that have announced, I guess it's just Tina Ramirez, they have skills that they have to offer. What I have to offer is a well-rounded package. I have a background in small business ownership, been to business school, law school. I've worked on a Supreme Court brief against Obamacare, which was a success. And basically what people would get from me is if they like their constitutional rights, they can keep them. I'm pro-Constitution, pro-family, pro-vet, pro-senior. That's basically the deal right there. So I'm a well-rounded candidate.
Do you have any political experience at all?
No, so I am a political outsider. So I guess I would be considered similar to Dave Bratt in his policies and views. And so this will be my first time running, actually.
Have you been involved with like the Republican Party of Virginia or the Republican committees in any of the towns in the 7th District? Have you been active at all?
Yeah, so I'm just starting to get more active with all the committees and reaching out to all the delegates in Virginia to gain their support for the upcoming election. And I do realize it is going to be an uphill battle. I mean, Abigail Spanberger is very, very well funded, and she it's a seat that basically the Democrats want to keep. You know, they don't want to lose this seat. They won it by 2% last election, and I plan on basically touring through the district, every day. This is what I'm doing full time every day from sunrise to sunset, meeting people. So it's a great people, great district. A lot of farmers out here, I've been speaking to, and they.
Do you have a day?
People,
do you have a day job?
No, I'm doing this full time. This is my day job, is campaigning and running for this seat right here. I used to work doing project management and doing some various other things. I was in the military, so veterans' rights are definitely high on my priority list. So.
Do you have a family?
I do not have a family. I guess I would probably be one of the only candidates that's running as just a single guy. No wife, no kids, but maybe in the future.
All right, so you're running full-time, and one other announced candidate in the race, Tina Ramirez. I've not met Tina. I don't know anything about her. I'm going to try to reach out to her in the next week or so. But look, this is going to be a tough race. Abigail Spanberger, definitely the strongest Democratic candidate in any Trump district in 2020. And one of the things that makes her tough is she'll talk to anybody. She comes on my show every 2 or 3 weeks, unlike some of her counterparts that are afraid they might be asked a legitimate question by a legitimate show instead of the Clown News Network and others. But let me just ask you this. How do you win a Republican high-profile primary when no one knows who you are? How do you do that? Honestly.
Sure. So, well, I mean, step one, come on the John Fredericks show, of course. Step
Smart.
two, basically creating a national profile. I'm probably one of dozens and dozens of candidates across the country that are running as maybe slightly younger, slightly more of an outsider for seats, and we're not Washington D.C. Swamp people. We're not beholden to anyone's views or anything. We're running for the actual people in our districts, and you're going to see a lot of these veterans and younger folks running for these seats, and you'll see the media pick up on this because they're going to see this as basically the counter to the squad, the four Democratic congresswomen that were elected in their different districts. And so that you're going to see the media say, okay, well, we have the squad, but then we also have these newer, younger, fresh faces that are going to basically revitalize the Republican Party by giving it a lot of life and basically bringing a lot of the new voters to the table, all the younger folks that are 18, 19, 21. Maybe they have never voted before and aren't registered because they're too busy with college and school and everything. So.
Okay, so we're with Jason Roberge, candidate for Congress, District 7. That's Central Virginia. That's the seat that Abigail Spanberger, Democrat, holds. That is a probably 50-50 split right now. It's about an R+3 on paper. Spanberger beating Dave Bratt in the midterms 2018 in the wave by about 6,000 votes. President Trump likely to visit Virginia and come to the 7th for a rally at least once. I don't have any info on that. This is just my pure analysis conjecture. I would think he would be here to get turnout there. So Jason Roberge, nobody's heard of you. You've not been active. That's about the ultimate outsider when no one knows who you are. Let me ask you this. How do you raise money? Because there's going to be other candidates in this, right? You've already got Tina in there. If Nick Freitas, House of Delegates member, wins the write-off campaign, the write-in campaign, he is going to run for Congress, and he's going to be the overwhelming favorite coming off that write-in campaign. How are you going to raise the money in order to beat them?
Sure. Well, I'm going to self-fund the beginning part of my campaign because I believe that this is a seat that should be given back to Virginians, and I feel like after talking to numerous people, they're very pro-America. They're very, very interested in protecting their rights, and they realize that the Democratic Party doesn't have their best rights. They're not protecting their rights basically. And the First Amendment to free speech, the freedom of religion, they're pro-life, and their Second Amendment rights. Just to start off with the first few, they feel like they're being tread on and basically not. What was your question again? Say it again.
How are you going to raise money? I mean, this is this is. I mean, this isn't like you're in a district which is D plus 90, right? This is a Republican district that the Republicans with a good candidate are likely to win back. Although Spanberger is very tough, so it's 50-50, and you're going to have formidable opposition. Tina Ramirez has already been running for some time, likely to get Nick Freitas in if he wins the runoff. Could get others. So some of them are going to be very well funded, like Nick. How are you going to raise money in order to compete?
Sure. Well, basically what I was getting at was that a lot of people realize that they want someone they can relate to. They want someone they can talk to and communicate with and actually be heard in Congress. I would be that person, right? With my background in being in the military, being a small business owner, and these sort of things. I really am a good problem solver, and I really do understand how to connect with people. And I think they probably feel the same way. So after talking to everyone, they're very interested in donating to the campaign. RobergeForCongress.com is the website. And, yeah, basically just take it one day at a time, just meeting people and talking with the different groups and work from there.
How do you feel about President Trump?
He is doing a fantastic job. He the mainstream media is basically making him out to be this anti-racist, crazy person. But the mainstream media is basically just all opinion now. The economy is up. There's low unemployment, and picture that meeting with North Korea, right? Who in 100 years would ever think that we would have a sitting president actually go to North Korea and cross the border there and meet with the North Korean leadership? It's really a fascinating thing. He can basically do things that a lot of people can't as president, and everything is doing well. The tariffs are temporary. That's a move in order to encourage the Chinese from not manipulating currency and all that stuff. So it affect the farmers in the short term, a little bit, but long term it's beneficial for the U.S. So
let me
ask
you
doing
this,
a great job.
Jason.
To be honest with you, everyone I've spoken to is very pleased with his job performance in Virginia.
If you get to Congress, are you going to be able to be counted on as the number one backer of President Trump in his second term and his America First agenda?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, America has to come first. There's no way, we're sending all this money overseas, pallets of cash and all this stuff. Why aren't we spending that money on mental health for veterans or senior citizen issues? It's crazy. I would 100% back President Trump, and I hope to get his endorsement in the future. If he wants to come down to Virginia, by all means, come down. We can do an event, and people would love to meet him here. A lot of energy still, a lot of energy.
Well, he isn't going to come down until after a candidate is decided. Obviously, let me just ask you this: the president the other day, about a week ago, came out for common sense gun legislation at the federal level, which is A, getting rid of the background check loopholes, and 2, strengthening red flag laws so that somebody that's posting crazy stuff or been complained about by various people are not going to have access to a firearm. How do you stand on that?
Well, so the Second Amendment rights are an absolute right in the Constitution, right? That shall not be, you have an absolute right, and there's no other way to say it. So over the years, basically, the Supreme Court has ruled that, we have these gun laws, and we can put these little checks in place, and we can have certain people carry certain weapons, and they can all be regulated. I think that the red flag laws, the media is making it out to be an extremely, they're kind of pooling everything together. Really what needs to be done is mental health programs for people that have issues. I'm not saying take away any firearms. I'm saying you need to basically have mental health professionals intervene if people are showing signs of mental health issues, right? So, and President Trump actually gave mention to it the other day how there were all these mental health institutions that have been shut down over the years for a lack of funding, and they've abandoned these hospitals, mental health hospitals. Why not bring those back? Why not bring back some help where people need it? So I think that's a good starting point. I don't think just taking away people's firearms with no due process is a good starting point. I think that is definitely the opposite of a good starting point. It's worth discussing, though.
I think what the president has said is he favors closing the background check loophole that you have at gun stores or online, where you can basically sell a gun to anybody and not be a registered firearms agent. Are you in favor of that or not? Yes or no?
No. I think you should be able to purchase guns anywhere.
Okay. So you're not in favor of the president's call for closing the background check loophole. Red flag laws. The president wants to extend that with due process. Are you in favor of that or not?
The level of due process would have to be extremely high. I mean, I'm not in favor of the red flag laws. It's too expensive. People can't afford a lawyer for $5,000, $10,000. You know, if someone says, oh, they're a danger and they've got all these guns. So.
All right. Mm-hmm. Jason Roberge, on the record, no universal background checks, no closing the loophole, and no red flag laws. Jason, thanks for being with us. Appreciate the time. More information, Roberge for Congress. That's FOR. RobergeForCongress.com. That's RobergeForCongress.com. Jason, thanks for being on the John Fredericks Radio Network. Great to have you. Good luck in your campaign. We'll have you back. And you'll have to basically, everything's going to hinge on what Nick Freitas does. If he wins that write-in campaign, he is going to be the nominee. John Fredericks Radio Network, trucking the truth across America.